in the year 2023, I made an intro that was 2D and we used CapCut to do it. Then towards the start of 2024, I changed the intro to an animated one in Blender. And I've had that intro since then up until now. But I feel like it's time for a change. So I decided to remake the intro, this time with different shots and a new kind of king sound model. And I'm sure you guys are wondering,
how do I do this?
I decided to show you the full behind the scenes process. You can watch as I create my new king sound intro in Blender and you can see all the tips that I have into making a good one yourself. So first things first, I'm actually going to have to make a 3D model of my logo. How do I do it? Well, let's find out. So in my Blender interface, I'm going to click Shift A and get an image, just a reference of my logo. Oh, and I put it in the wrong way. Let me redo that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Now I can tab into edit mode and click M to merge. Then press G to grab the dot and place it to the first setting I want to trace over, which is for me is K. And then I just start tracing. I try and trace it all carefully so that it doesn't look too rushed and all that stuff. This part could take a while, exactly, because of the method that I'm choosing to do it at. I just find this method a bit more easier, even if it's a bit longer, but sometimes I will adjust. So just keep tracing, and there we go. Now select it all and press F to fill. Now I'm going to press K and just cut some holes into it, just to get rid of the parts that I don't need. I'll do the same for that side too. And then we could just tap on the faces to 3. Oh, let me fix that up quickly. Then we could just tap on the faces with 3, and then press X to delete the faces. Let me try that again. There we go. There we go. Tap on them and delete them like that. And now we can just get a cube and repeat the same process we did with the tracing and cutting for the eye and for the rest of the letters too. So let me just fast forward that part. Next one. And just like before, we cut holes into it and delete the face. There. Now let's keep going. And there we go. Now I can just select all and press E to extrude. Now we have a 3D version of the logo. That's really cool. Okay, maybe shading smooth not a good idea. Now in the modifiers, we can add a better modifier just to give it a bit more smoothness. I'm not adding any subdivision modifier as I could wreck it though, like right now. And now let's add some color. I'm gonna add a little cool gold metal effect. Let's increase that a bit. And go down here, just for a good viewport look. And there we go. That was quite easy. Now, I think we're ready to move on to the crown now. Okay, let me just align that perfectly. There we go. Now we can move on to the crown. So let me just drag it to the side and get another image reference for the crown. And of course, another cube. And tap to edit mode and do the same as we did before. Merge, grab to the side, places where you want to start, and begin tracing. Then press F to fill. And then we can just cut holes and shapes just to mark all the patterns on it and stars and jewels. Alright. One left. Okay, now we can get on to this side now. We can start with the star. And I'm going to do something cool with this, because I'm not just going to have it be plain colours and painted on and all that stuff. That would just look really boring. Now I'd insert it a bit, and then we can continue cutting. And then there was blue. And there we go. Now I'm just going to cut into these ones too, just so I can color code them properly without having any issues. Now, there we go. Now, select all and press E to extrude again. And there we go. A good size, accurate to the logo. Now, we can color them all in. So first I'm with the metal color again. Now, we're going to add some extra colors too. This time for the bottom part of the crown, which is supposed to represent the third part of the crown. I tried doing a little test where I was going to make them hair particles, but that went horribly wrong. So, no way. Now, I'll try this way instead. Just make it white, grab all the circles, and color them in black. Both for the back and the front. And same for the viewport too. And now we're going to get onto the cool part. Well, first add a bevel modifier. Change it up a bit. There we go. Now get onto the cool part. Oh, never mind. One more thing to do. Alright. There we go. Now we go to the cool part, which is colouring in the star. So you sign the colour that I just made just now. And for the outline, I'll even make a different colour for that one too. So let's go make colour quickly. And there we go. That's different colour. And now we're going to get to even more cool part, which is making the jewel colour. So I'll start with red first. Make it look like a shiny colour. Then E to extrude out. Then select the face and hit Control B to bevel it a bit. Then I'm gonna grab all the outlines and colour in the same colour. There we go. Then we're gonna do the same with the outside. Oh, but first let's bring the star up a bit and then bevel that one too. Oh, but not too much though, because the way I built the model, it kind of glitched out a bit. There we go. Oh, and I need to fix that one again. Great. Okay, that's better. Now I can get around to the other one. Make it the pink color. E to extrude, Control B to bevel. And then you can grab all the edges. Color the same thing. And then we just fast forward these ones, it's the same thing as well. There we go. Assigned all the colors and made them look like jewels too. Pretty cool, isn't it? Now, let's color code these parts of the crowns just to make it a bit more different. Press a sign, and a sign, and a sign. And there we go. The crown's ready too. So we just get rid of that now. Now I have all the assets I need. Now let's actually name them so I know how to find them again. And now we can actually get around to making the backdrop. So I'm going to use a plane and just supersize it. Supersize it a bit more. Then we can press number 2. There we go. Now you can grab this edge and use E to extrude. And then we can bevel it to make it look like a backdrop. But except I kind of forgot how to do it, but just don't mind me. As soon as I figure it out. Okay, these goes like this now. Alright. No, but that's not how you do it. Okay, just don't mind me. Okay, let's do it properly this time. There we go. And there we go. Now it's like a proper backdrop. Then shade smooth. And now we can get on to colouring and lighting. But first let me just rise it up a bit so it's not in the middle of the mesh, but above it. Now let's colour in the backdrop too. Just a light blue like my original intro style. There we go. Now let's start the lighting, because I'm in the viewport shading section, and that's not the section I want to be on. So let me just duplicate the lights, turn them into sunlights, and just point them into certain directions. I think that should be okay. Now if I head into the rendered view for Eevee. Okay, well that's a bit too bright now. Let me just lower it down a bit. Okay, now it's starting to be a little bit too dark. Maybe a little bit more. Raise it up a bit. Okay, that's still too bright. Now it's a bit too dark now. Alright. Okay, maybe not looking a bit better at all. Okay, looking a bit fine. And let me just adjust the colours of the logo, just to make it less dark. By doing that, I'm going to add an emission effect, just to make it glow a bit, even in the dark. There we go. There, just a little emission effect on it. Alright, one more. There. To make the star glow too. Oh, let me fix that issue. Assign, there we go. Okay, well the lighting's getting a bit better. But maybe I could do a little bit more. Head into the world section, and I'll just increase the color a bit. Okay, now we're talking. Now let's align this above the logo. And let's position the camera out too. Okay, now I need to fix the film camera clipping. But first let me just adjust the camera a little bit more. Alright. Now we can fix the clipping issue. There we go. Just increase the end a bit. There. Now let's do a quick render test. As soon as I position it properly, there we go. Now let's render quickly and ta-da! Now let's save that picture just for fun. Alright, now for the best part, animating. And I'm going to make it a bit more advanced animation, even though I haven't really done advanced animation before. But it's going to be cool and it's going to be fun. So, the theme that I'm aiming for is just a good look at the logo, then the crown descending on top of the logo, and fireworks in the backdrop. So, let's just make a quick frame cut, so I know when the frame ends, and how long I want it to go on for. That should be alright. Now let's make a keyframe for the camera, from where it's end and start. Alright. But first off, I'm going to give a more closer look at the logo. So I'll just zoom in. And for fancy look, I'll just rotate it to point in a certain direction. Using R. There we go. Now let's hit K for keyframe, pick location and rotation. And then drag it along. Oh, whoops. Then drag it along and set another keyframe with K using location and rotation. So it still sticks in the same rotation effect, and I'll just drag it out a bit to make it a bit more slower. Now I'll just get a good look at the logo. That's what it's for. Now, what we're going to do is add another camera, the big marker, and then click combine camera to markers. If we want to end, and then now we get another camera quickly, do a shift A and click in camera, and then we just angle it to wherever we want to start it from. And so for me, Oh, and another thing I was doing, we want to switch the camera view. There we go. Now let's just angle it right. There we go. Now I want to get a top view of the logo. It's to show the crown coming down at the same time the camera comes down. Just a little cool effect I had in mind. Now let's align that a bit better. Alright. A bit more. A bit more. A little bit more. A bit more. And there we go. That should be enough. Now let's click button camera to markers again. So it starts from there. And set the keyframes with K, with location and rotation. And now let's zoom all the way down to the logo, just carefully. And set another keyframe with location and rotation with K. So now if you look it through, it switch frames immediately. There you go, looking good, looking good. Now, let's add a third camera and switch to the camera view. And now we're just going to zoom out to get a close-up shot of the logo, a bit similar to my old one. And to get a shot of the fireworks too, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. Alright, perfecto. Now just align the lighting a bit. Just make it a bit mysterious. Alright. Now we're going to combine camera to markers again. And set location and rotation with K. And then we're going to zoom in as much as we can. Or just do it this way. And then go to that camera view. Oh, whoops. Okay, well that didn't go as planned. There we go. Much better. Now I can line it like that. Right, that should be okay. A little bit more. There we go. Then press K for location and rotation again. Now if you look it through, it's looking pretty good. Now I just want to animate the crown so that it's actually doing something and not just standing there, because it looks a bit boring otherwise. So for the crown, I'm going to set location just for where it's supposed to end, and at the start I'm just going to label where it should be from the start. So I'll lift it as high as the camera goes for its falling scene, and set the location there with K. So there we go, it's still out of the shot there. Now I'm going to bring it down. But I want it to make a little bounce effect as well, just so it doesn't just float down fast, then float down softly, and then that's it. Okay, now I might need to adjust it a bit, because I want to follow along with the camera as much as it can. And yet, not too much either. Right, there we go. Now, let's create a little cool bouncing effect. Just right there. Alright. Now let's add a scale keyframe, so you get a cool bouncing effect. And I'll go to a specific part and just add another keyframe, just for it to go down slowly. Put it there. There, and then what we'll go to next is just scale the crown down a bit to make the squeeze effect. So we just land it down. So I make sure that the falling is perfect. A little bit more. Alright. Now let's get on with it. So first I scale down on the Z axis and just drag it down there like it just crashed down or something. Get on a bit more and then press K for the scale and location. And drag it just there. And there we go. Looks like it just pops back up. Now just squeeze it in a bit. And there we go. There we go. Now it's looking much better, isn't it? Well, that's the main line of work done. Let's just adjust it a bit more so it looks perfect. Makes this about to come down. There we go. Looking pretty good. And now I'm going to add a little add-on, which I didn't do to the last intro, which get a text, do Shift A, and I'm going to write animations. Since my full social media name is King Sam Animations, I thought I might add that to my intro too. So I get the same color as the gold from the logo and crown, and just change the words to animation. Alright. Oh, whoops. Alright, now let's drag it to the center. And I'm going to make it a bit more bolder and more 3D-like instead of just a 2D text. So, okay, it's looking good. Alright, now let's make it bolder. Decrease size a bit. And there we go. Now, I don't want it to just stand there, as it look a bit boring there. So, I'm going to animate that one too. Say the keyframe was supposed to end. And then I'm just going to drag it far, far, far away from the frame. To make it if it just comes in really, really fast. But then it surpasses its position and goes back suddenly. Just real cool effect. And now I don't want it to be in the middle of the frame when it's zooming towards the logo, so I'm going to drag as far as I can, set keyframes so it'll stay there. And there we go. Now, for a little simulation, which is the fireworks, I decided that I'm not going to do them in Canva or any other software. I'm going to make them here in Blender, but I know it's going to be a little bit difficult as is the new version of Blender 4.0. The old features used to create fireworks, so I have to improvise. So what I'm doing is getting an icosphere and shrink it to the exact amount I want it to, and duplicating it to show how many fireworks I want to create. And I'm going to use one of the duplications as a little base for the fireworks simulation. So first I'm just going to animate them by setting keyframes and raising them up. Just so I'm going up and starting sparks. Same with the other one. Setting the keyframe there. Oops. And there we go. And same for that one. Even though I might not be needing that one, but I'll sort that part out later. Okay, that's the easy part done. Okay, and now let's press T and select linear. Then I'm going to go to all the other firework meshes and do the same. Press T for linear, and yeah. Alright, now let's go into this section and give an indicator of when the keyframes start, like this. And when the keyframes end too. That way we can indicate how long the fireworks should go on for, just so they don't overdo it, yeah. And now let's adjust the number for both the number and the frame start. And for the end part too. And now we should be getting somewhere. Now we're showing little particles. And let's render it as object. And select the object, which is the third firework that we just laid out just now. And let's check out those boxes, or uncheck them. Now we're going to add a new particle system, and this time we're going to add a number of when we want the firework to start. And we want it to end too. Okay, looking a bit odd there for now. Let me just adjust that a little bit. Alright. Okay, now let's adjust the number of the gravity. Now we're going to do the same for the other fireworks too. First, let's just name them so I know where to find them. Alright. Name the other one too. Okay. Now let's begin the marking again. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to change the object again and then select the fireworks animation we want. Okay, and uncheck those boxes and add number to another one too, and start and end again, and change gravity down. Okay, now I think that's all correct now. Now we can do the same for the other one. By the way, doing the same for the other one is just optional, really. It's not really needed as it's supposed to be the reference for the fireworks. So you don't have to, and sometimes it will glitch out if you had it in there. So it's just optional if you want to add the animation simulation for the fireworks into that one. Otherwise, you don't have to. But let's just fast forward all this. Another note is that the fireworks animation might not play when you haven't rendered the animation yet. So if you don't see any fireworks in the view, then that's okay. Now, I'm going to add a glow effect through the shade editor this time, and a spark effect too. First by adding an emission and object info. And then I'm going to add an ambient occlusion since the old one's been removed, and just connect it to where I can. All right. Okay, I can see all the sparks of fireworks. Let me try increasing it a bit. Okay, looks like it's getting somewhere. Okay, there we go. That was like fireworks, isn't it? As much as I can anyway. So now, it all looks ready. Now let me just get rid of the animation on the icosphere, the third one, since it's not really needed. There we go. Now it looks ready. So nothing was I just want to add a little special effect by adding just a little mini light. As if to make my logo look shiny in animation. This is just a cheating way, by the way. I could easily do this in the composition, but I decided to do it here too. So we can go ahead and click render and render animation. And there, that's it. So in case you're wondering, how do I get all the sound effects? Well, what I did, I simply went into CapCut and searched for sound effects in the audio section and just grab whatever sound effects I wanted. First with a glitter sound effect, falling sound effects, and a bunch of fireworks sound effects. And just immediately it will start for when the crown falls down. And here's the final result. So, what do you think? Is it looking nice? Magnificent? Extraordinary? You let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed my first behind the scenes process of one of my animated projects. And there's plenty more to come too. And as of now, this is new intro you're going to keep seeing in my next few videos. So if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And let me know what kinds of animation tutorials you want to see me do. And if there's anything you want to learn, let me know as well. And I might even make a new subscribe sequence too. If you guys want to see that, then let me know. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.